And he's been consistently pretty good in Atlanta. He's been undefeated up until Sunday, and this time against Washington did not look great. 3 very bad interceptions, and you can't even say that it's just bad drops or whatever. These were balls that were thrown up for grabs, and Washington DBs were able to take advantage of those opportunities. The last one was really appalling because there was just very forced, and there was just no need to put the ball in harm's way at that moment in the game. And Washington wins 24-16 as they're able to snap a 3-game losing streak against a pretty quality opponent. And you could just see the reaction from Arthur Smith, a guy who I think he can call some good plays. He's creative and he has some nice weapons. It's just a matter of who can pilot this offense. Before, he had Ryan Tannehill in his days with Tennessee, who is always going to be pretty solid. He's kind of slippery at times with that deceptive speed as a white quarterback, but as Desmond Ridder is, it's just clunky and sometimes just, what are you looking at? What are you doing? We knew the leash was short coming into this year. He was a 3rd-round pick that had to sit behind Marcus Mariota for half of the year last year, and this year it was just like, if you're going off the rails quickly, you're gonna get yanked. And yes, Taylor Heineke, nothing extraordinary. I think at this point it's just like Atlanta has options, but what can you do with it? And we've heard rumors of them maybe going after Justin Fields. If that situation were to just fall off the rails there in Chicago, maybe we'll look back into this in the offseason, depending on how Atlanta finishes out the season. But from what it looks like, I mean, I don't know if Arthur Smith can survive this. They may try to clean house, unfortunately. I don't think he's had a fair shake, just given that he had an old, aging Matt Ryan in 2021 to start off, and then had Marcus Mariota splitting time with Desmond Ridder. Now you have Desmond Ridder who could be splitting time with Taylor Heineke, and that's the problem when you don't have consistent quarterback play. The coaches sometimes suffer the consequences of that. Atlanta can be solid. They have all the tools, good offensive line, great couple of running backs, solid weapons, but when it comes down to their quarterback, that's their glaring weakness. And I don't know how long the leash is going to last. We could see a change. It just seemed that Arthur Smith was very upset, very visibly frustrated, and it's fair, but we could see some quarterback changes being made in Atlanta moving forward. To talk about Washington, though, this is a great win to them to respond after losing 3 consecutive games and getting embarrassed on Thursday Night Football to those Chicago Bears who came into their house winless at that moment in time. And they're 3-3. I think this is another step forward for Sam Howell's development. I think he's slowly proving to be the guy for DC moving forward. Yes, there might be other options out there. If there's a guy that drops into that late first round, to however they may land in the first round of the NFL draft next year, they may take a flyer and still work with Sam Howell. But right now, Sam is looking pretty solid. I don't see him making a ton of bad decisions. It's really just a matter of whether or not he can just escape pressure, because that offensive line isn't the best. So if they can work on that and maybe just address something else, another team need that they have, Washington might have something special moving forward.